I used to believe love meant never depending on anyone, that independence was power, that keeping walls up kept me safe. When I told my husband, "I don't need you," I thought I was proving a point. I didn't see that I was cutting the last thread holding us together. His name was Daniel. We had been married 8 years, long enough to stop pretending, maybe too long to fix what was broken. He was steady, calm, a man of quiet kindness. The kind who brought me my favorite coffee without being asked, stayed awake when I couldn't sleep, never forgot an anniversary, even when I forgot why we were celebrating. Lately, though, everything felt like a transaction. I had grown tired of his questions, his care, the way he looked at me, as if he could see through the mask I wore every day. I told myself I was fine without him, self-sufficient, complete, accomplished. He would smile faintly, as if understanding something I didn't. One night, after another petty argument over nothing, I said it. The words were sharp, clean, like breaking glass. "I don't need you, Daniel." He didn't yell. He didn't flinch. He just stared, steady and unblinking, then nodded once. "Okay," he said quietly. "You won't." I expected flowers, apologies, anything that might say, "We'll work this out." Instead, he packed a small bag, took his car keys, and walked out. No slammed doors, no dramatic exit, just soft footsteps fading down the hall. The silence after he left wasn't peaceful. It was heavy, a stillness pressing on the walls, echoing in every room. I told myself I was fine. I cleaned, folded laundry, scrolled through my phone as if the world moved on, but every sound reminded me of him. The creak of the hallway floorboard, the fridge humming louder when the lights went out. Days passed. He didn't call. He didn't text. He didn't come back for the sweater draped over the couch. My pride wouldn't let me reach out. My heart whispered he'd return once he cooled off, but he never did. At work, I laughed with coworkers, saying Daniel was visiting family. Sometimes I even convinced myself. But returning to our apartment, my apartment now, everything felt wrong. His coffee mug still on the shelf. His scent faint on the pillow. A ghost of the man I had told myself I didn't need. Absence rearranges life fast. I noticed all the small things he did, taking out the trash before it overflowed, keeping the gas tank full, checking the front door lock when I forgot. I mocked his predictability. Now I missed it like air. A week became 2. I called once, just to hear his voice on voicemail. "Hey, it's Daniel. Leave a message." I hung up before the tone. The next morning, I found a note taped to the fridge, hidden behind an old photo of us at the lake. His handwriting, calm and careful. "You said you didn't need me. I finally believe you. Take care of yourself, Anna." I sank to the floor, the note shaking in my hands. He hadn't left in anger. He left because he finally believed me. Deep down, maybe he'd always known. Love cannot survive where it isn't needed. Every night, I replayed our last conversation, hoping for a different ending. Always the same. He turned away, and I let him. Weeks stretched into months. The quiet became a presence, filling the spaces where his voice had been. I sat at the kitchen table, drinking coffee that never tasted right, wondering when my independence became punishment. People stopped asking about Daniel. They assumed we drifted apart like other couples. I let them think that it was simpler than explaining. He hadn't left because of a fight, or affair, or betrayal. He left because I had pushed him away with my own words. At first, I told myself I missed only the idea of being understood. Then I caught myself glancing at the empty side of the bed, pausing before unlocking the door, expecting his keys, his soft greeting. "Habits," I said. "Just habits." But habits built from love remind you of what you've lost. I tried moving forward. Redecorated, painted, replaced the couch we picked together. Still, his absence lingered. I realized how much of my life revolved around his quiet care, how he had made space for me to be strong even when I didn't see it. One afternoon, I ran into his sister at the store. She smiled politely. "He's doing well," she said. "Moved to Seattle, got a new job. Seems peaceful." Peaceful. That word cut deeper than anger ever could. I forced a smile. wished her well, and walked away before tears came. Peaceful meant he had built a life without me, one that didn't need fixing, explaining, or enduring. That night, I sat on the balcony we once shared, rereading his note for the 100th time. I had memorized every loop, every curve. Take care of yourself. Not bitter. Not cold. The gentlest goodbye I'd ever received, and the hardest to live with. I thought about all the times he tried to reach me before it was too late. Dinners I ignored, conversations I brushed off, the quiet words, "You don't have to do everything alone, Anna." And I laughed, thinking self-sufficiency made me strong. It didn't. It built walls so tall no one could climb, not even the man who loved me most. Months later, I got a letter, not from him, but a lawyer finalizing our divorce. No demands. No arguments. Just, "Thank you for the years we shared." I signed with shaking hands. It should have felt like closure. Instead, it felt like watching a candle burn out quietly. Sometimes I still see him in passing, never sure if it's really him or just memory. A man in gray crossing the street, a laugh in a cafe. Every time my heart tightens, thinking maybe he'll look back. He never does. And that haunts me most, not that he left, but that he left without looking back. That means he's made peace with my absence. Now, when friends ask me about love, I don't tell them to be strong or independent. I tell them to be kind, to speak the words that matter before pride swallows them, to never weaponize the sentence I once did. I don't need you. Love isn't survival. It's choosing to let someone stay, even when you could survive without them. Daniel taught me that, in silence, lingering long after footsteps fade. If I could tell him one thing now, it wouldn't be an apology or a plea. It would be this: I did need you. I just didn't know how to say it.